connecting and empowering. So your time here is going to be empowering. A lot of you are going to get information that you will use and will take you to the next level. And that's why we are here, and that's why we bring experts, to get informed, because there's power in knowledge. And sometimes you have information right around you, right by you, and then it just passes over. And, you just miss opportunities. So information is power. And, when you are in forums like this, you get informed, you get information that, will help you and move you forward. And, the UK is a big place with so many opportunities. You could come here and think, okay, it's just one way. This is just the only way. No, it's not the only way. There are many ways, many opportunities within the law, within the confines of the law. There are many ways and many opportunities to get things done. I'm still discovering. We are still discovering. And that's why we bring experts who are already in the system and who have information that and moving forward. A lot of people, I've had stories of people who gave up on things that if they pushed a little bit further, if they had understood the law, it would have taken them further. They would have won the battle. So, the UK is a country of laws and regulations. Laws and regulations that can make you or break you. But when you understand the laws, you can read between the lines and the lines. Then you can always take advantage. So many opportunities. And, sometimes people just could be ignorant and, just miss out. I could remember a story of somebody who mistakenly just sent a message to everybody in his group. And it got him into prison because it was a pornographic message. And part of the people in the group was underage. These are things that in other countries you just look over, but in the UK, you need to understand what's going on. He went to jail. So just to remind everyone, we are on Facebook. Gaps and Bridges is on Facebook. Gaps and Bridges, if you search Gaps and Bridges is on YouTube. We are on YouTube as well, and we are on Instagram. So on Instagram, it's gaps_bridges. And at the end of the meeting, we are going to be launching our WhatsApp group, which is going to be mainly for connecting Africans in the diaspora and giving information, and a lot of things will be going on there. So it's something you really want to be part of. So as I was saying, the UK is a place where you just need to understand the opportunities. If you isolate yourself, you're going to miss many things. I don't know if you guys are aware of the story of that Nigerian guy who went on YouTube, and he came to the UK. I think he was here for about 2-3 years. He went to YouTube and started saying there are many Nigerians who come to the UK, many people, Africans who come to the UK and claim to come to study but end up working. And, he was saying all sorts of things. And eventually, to cut the long story short, he discovered that his life was under threat because a lot of people were sending him messages and all that. Went to the UK, went to the UK, I think the Home Office, spoke to them about it, and they gave him asylum. Not only giving him asylum, they gave him £160,000. And I know a lot of you will know the story. But he was so excited, took the money, traveled back, to his country and went to build a house. But you see, his claim was that his life was under threat. And that was why the money was given to him. But now he's going back. So he's having a case. And he's most likely going to go to jail because he has circumvented the reason why the money was given to him to settle in the UK. So these are things, these are little things that, you know, we just need to understand how things operate here. And that brings me to the purpose of this meeting. Why are we having this meeting? Pathway to settling to the UK series. Why have we brought our seasoned guests for this meeting? You know, I think the first thing will equip you with resources so that you can have a smooth transition in your settling in the UK. I know there are many people in different processes. Some people, students, post-study, you know, a lot of things are going on. I can assure you that don't give up. Don't be in a hurry to give up. There are ways, legit ways to settling in the UK. So the essence of this program is to help you, to guide you into that path to settling, not just settling with paper, not just paper, but also integrating. And that's why we have an integration expert as well, integrating into the system. You don't want to live in the system, but not be part of the system. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Living in the system, being part of the system doesn't mean I have to act and do everything like somebody who was born in the UK does. You know, I have to speak like someone who's born in the UK, do everything. No, that's not integration. Integration means you still have your uniqueness, your personality, but you have now, you know, kind of like assimilated into the system. It means you are not isolated. You understand how things work. You are confident of yourself. You can relate, you know, with people, and you are settled in the system. So that's one of the reasons why we are bringing an integration expert to help us on this journey towards a successful settlement. And I just want to, you know, just encourage us, just no knowledge is lost. You are going to get enough knowledge, information that is going to help you settle down here in the UK. There are opportunities in jobs. There are opportunities in professions. There are opportunities in partnering. There are opportunities in funding. And, you know, that's one of the things we're going to be doing in Gaps and Bridges. We're going to be doing a lot of connections, a lot of working with people, you know, with ideas, fundable ideas. There are a lot of fundable ideas to carry out projects that, you know, would transform lives. So I'll be inviting my guest, the first speaker. The first speaker is Bumi Yere. She's a social integration expert. She's also a partnership lead for Gaps and Bridges. She has a plethora of experience in the not-profit sector. She's been there and there. So as far as the non-profit sector is concerned, she's been there. So she has a wealth of experience. I don't want to go through her CV and all the places she's worked, but she's been there. She's been there, and she's going to be talking. She's our first speaker. She's going to be talking on social integration, like how we could, you know, acclimatize ourselves well in UK. So please, guys, if you have your speakers on, you could just mute that. That will be good. So I'm just going to be inviting her in, and she'll be taking off from there. So over to me.
Okay. Well, thank you so very much. Thank you for having me and this opportunity. And I want to welcome everyone. Without much ado, I'll just be diving into my presentation. Welcome everyone. Just as Femi has said, we're actually all in a land of opportunities, and we just Gaps and Bridges is just to connect people, I believe, to the opportunities, to open our eyes, to see where the loopholes, to see where the opportunities are, and to be able to make the most of it for you and I, for everyone. So you're all very welcome to this session. I'll be talking about the I'll be talking about the social integration part of it and why it's important. You know, why we have come to the UK and all that, to settle, to make money, but we also need to think about how we integrate, how that is important to our journey, because the journey does not fly there. Integration is really important, and I've seen how important it is and how it's been useful to people. So I just dive into my presentation, and then we'd have opportunities to ask questions later. Yeah. So 1 second, yeah. Okay. I believe you can all see the slide. Yeah. Okay, then. So we're going to talk about social integration. Why is it important as you come to live in the UK? How does it define between success and failure? You know, between you having success, and how it's important to define it between success and failure. So let's look. So what is social integration? We'll be looking at what it is, why it is important, and how we can make that happen. Simple things, how we can make that happen without just ignoring that fact that, oh, I'm just here to make money, I'm just here to make a better life for myself. Social integration is actually a major part, and we'll be looking at that. So, okay. So what is social integration? I'm going to give it a kind of, I'm going to start from like a functional definition, kind of what social integration is. And when I mean functional, I mean how it relates to you. You may not see this in the dictionary as like one definition, but how does it relate to you? How does it make a difference in your life? How does it make your life better while you want to live in the UK? So we'll look at social integration as the ability to understand your current community. And that's really important. It's that ability to understand your current community and make the most of the resources. Don't ignore anything. Don't say, look, I'm just going to work. I don't have to talk to anybody. And please note, as I've said, that resources does not mean money. How do you make the most of the resources? It does not necessarily mean money. It means understanding what in the community will enhance your success and making the most of it. Have you looked around? Is it just about going to work and about, trying to get your visa and all that? While all that is important, there's a lot of, like Femi mentioned, there's a lot of route to getting this visa. It's not only about your capacity and your ability. There's a lot that there are other things that goes with it that could be helpful. So as I've said, this includes the people. You need to integrate with the people, isn't it? You need to integrate with the opportunities in the community. You need to also integrate with the social life. I understand that some of us are from very religious background, but it does not mean that we should not recognize and integrate with the social life as much as your religion can take. You need to also integrate with the learning and the voluntary opportunities. There's loads of opportunities. What efforts have we made, to make this integration happen? So you need to also understand too how to contribute to your community. It's not all about, oh, what do I get? What do I want? What will benefit me? You also need to be able to look around. What can I contribute to my community? We have seen people who have taken up voluntary role, and that has led them, to achieve something. That has led them to settlements. That has led the community recognizing them and giving them that opportunity to be settled. So it's important to actually take this seriously. It's not just look at everything and look at how integration is important to your stay in the UK. Now, let's just look at why. I've mentioned some of it in my conversation in my earlier slide. Let us look at why. Why is it important? First, why have we come to the UK? Why, if we could drop one or two things, why, why we have come here, why we have all come here, if we could just drop a few things. Why have you come? Look at yourself. Why have I come to the UK? I've come to make my life better. I've come to make some money. I've come to make things better for my family. But then that's why we have all come, but we also need to look inwards, that here in the United Kingdom, where you are, They said it's a land, let me go a bit. This is a land flowing with a lot of opportunities, milk and honey, as they say, a land, with gold. But then, and a lot of us have a lot of very good skills. We have come with, master's degree, PhD degree, experiences from where we are coming from. But you also need to look at, like, remember that you are assessed maybe by your employers or the people around you, even your neighbors. You are assessed, and your progress depends not only on your ability or your skills or your capacity or the experiences you have brought from where we are coming from. While that is important and valid, but your settlement does not only depend on all those things. You may not know, as I've said, a lot of us are, there's this unwritten rule. They're looking, your employers are looking, your neighbors are looking, people around you, they're actually assessing you. And this is significantly by your social interaction. How are you connecting at work? How are you showing that you even have some understanding of the culture, or you understand the culture, or you are even making an effort to understand the culture and the way of life here and the people? Are you just kind of putting the people aside and say, look, I'm just me and my family, and I know why, a lot of us will use that word, I know why I'm here. Yes, we know, but it's also important to know the people that are already here, to know the people that live here, to actually know the people that the country belongs to at the moment. So what matters and that can make a big difference to your failure or success? So social interaction is important. It matters that you know the things around you. That makes a big difference to what you achieve and what you are not able to achieve. So, in anywhere, they always say that we need allies. We need people to be on our side. And you can see, even if you look at a superpower like America, it always needs, try to make people come on their side. And that's exactly what we are talking about. Allies come to your rescue, even when things are tough, even when you are not kind of like meeting up, when you are struggling with things, maybe at work, in the community, interaction. It's when you interact with people that they can be, when you interact, when they know you, when you also make an effort to know them, that you can have them as allies. And allies, the only thing allies do is to help improve you. And we all, I tell you, we all need allies in our lives. It's not only, look, I have this skill, I have that skill, I have this professional qualification. We also need allies to give us that upliftment and that push. And I just want us to know that that's really important. I'll just go to the next slide. My own slides are not plenty. So what are the do's and don'ts? How do we help ourselves to integrate, to interact, and to connect in our community? Let's start from the do's, the don'ts. The English person, as we may know that now, will always have a smile. Even when they're in difficult situations, they would always have a smile. Can we always try to do that too? Have like a subtle face, a smile and some subtleness, to us. Then we are talking about the do's. Another do's is, let's always also be mindful of the pitch of our voice. We as Africans, we come from a place of big landmark, and we know how to raise our voice. Like we do it intentionally, but that's who we are. But we are here that sometimes when you raise your voice, it could be seen as aggression. So let's be mindful of how we talk and the pitch of our voice. Let's also engage in social activities with colleagues. I know how important it is to work. We have 2 jobs. I know, trust me, I understand what we have left at home. Some of us even see social interaction as a waste of money and a waste of time. It's so I will go and buy a cup of tea for £3 and all that. But these things, they're really important. Also, at work, one of the things I had to learn, we're all migrants and all that. Some of us, we've come just like every other person, every other one of you here, is to engage is to accept cup of coffee. Your manager will carry about 2 cups, say, you want coffee? Do you want coffee? You want tea? A lot of us will say we don't want. We are not used to where people are just offering us coffee and tea, especially when that person is your manager. learn to accept. And I think I put somewhere to also learn to make. I've been at work where somebody would just make a fellow person like me, would just make herself only her own cup of coffee and sit. That is really frowned at in this culture. I mean, offer, do you want, as you're going to make yourself a drink, just offer, do you want a cup of coffee, on your way? If there are 4 cups you can carry. If not, you can say, oh, can someone help me? You can make a cup of hot drink for as many as 6 people. It's important. They are noticing this thing more than, do you want coffee? No. Do you want tea? No. And when it's your turn, you just make your own and you will sit down. It doesn't work like that today. Here. Then ask questions when you don't know something. It's better than for us to pretend. And that's another thing we know. They are talking to you and not even understanding what they're saying, but we're kind of nodding our head. Ask questions when you don't understand and engage in conversation as much as possible. As we may have noticed, English people like to ask questions, they like to talk, as much as your work permits you, as much as your values permits you, please engage in conversation. As I said, you're only gaining allies. You are gaining supporters and people on your side who can be helpful at some point in your journey. Then try the culture of low voices. I've said that one with not raising your voice. Let's try and be more subtle with our conversation. And also remember that most walls in the United Kingdom, they are not concrete like our own. They are made of wood. So that's also important. And another thing is learn to provide a summary. Please, we know how to tell stories. And maybe because, we are we are from communities and all that, and we all tell stories. But let us kind of try to summarize things and not go from, when somebody was crossing the road and the person did that and that and that and that. Just let's try and go to the point and watch, learn, and try to replicate some of those things that goes with with your religion, goes with your culture. Watch, learn. If the cup of coffee is like this, try and do it like that. I don't mean that you can't change it, but don't be aggressive in your change. You can suggest things and all that, but try and watch and see how it goes. And then let's go to the don'ts. I'll soon be rounding up. The don'ts, please don't wear a frown. It is seen as aggression in this country because some of us, maybe, not like I blame us. We know the hard times, maybe, things are hard, or somebody has even annoyed, somebody has been annoying to you in the office. If somebody has annoyed you, we will show it that, please don't just stay on your own side of the seat. I'm annoyed or I'm not happy. And this aggression shows as aggression when we wear a frown. So try and also be a bit more subtle with that. Don't reject a cup of tea or a cup of coffee if you're offered. If you can drink. If you can just accept it, take a little and put it on your table. It's still better. And don't expect colleagues to pay for your drink or meal here in the United Kingdom. Don't say, that one is my senior, is my manager now. He has money more than me. Or she is the one that invited me to come and have a meal. Yeah, I was just sitting on my own, JJ, and minding my own business. He said that can we go for a meal? Kind of always have your own change. Most of the time, you have to pay for it yourself. On rare occasion, yeah, somebody can offer to pay for it or the office, but always have your money. And so don't expect your colleagues to pay for your drink or meal. And don't cut corners at your job. Most of us, we do, we try to if I do it like this, from where we're coming from, it may work. It doesn't work here. They would notice. Everything will pile up for you. They would notice. And that could cost you a lot of things more than that. And understanding the importance of going on holidays. Some of us, we work and work and work. We don't discuss holidays and all that. And limit your use of big vocabulary. We use big vocabulary in the United Kingdom. And my own session is very brief. I know I've taken a bit more time, but I hope that we can relate to some of those things I've said. We'll be taking questions later. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I'll pass it on and stop sharing my screen and pass it on to the speaker. I hope what I've said has been useful. Please drop your comments. We can still continue to relate back in this forum of things that matters to us and that will enhance our stay in the United Kingdom. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that, Bumi. Yeah, we really enjoyed that session. And I believe you guys have, taken a lot from there that would help you move forward, especially integrating. So without further ado, I'm not going to take much time. I'm going to be inviting our immigration speaker, Olaide. Olaide has been on many platforms. She's an immigration and family solicitor, and she's going to be, helping us with pathways to settling in the UK, from the immigration perspective. So it's something you really need to listen to, and it's going to really help you. And she's somebody you could connect with, after this event. So I'll just invite Olaide. Olaide, please could you are you up? Do you have your system up? Yes, yes. You should unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. So that's Olaide Awobile. Let me see you here to unmute.
Yeah, and you can also make her the co-host so she's able to share her slides there.
Hi, thank you. I was on mute, but you didn't know. And also I can't share my screen. Please, can you give me permission?
Toby, could you please make her a co-host, please? Toby there.
Yes, so she can do that now.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me and can you all see the screen? Can you all hear me and can you all see the screen?
Yes, we can.
All right, good morning. So my name is Olaide Awobile. So I am a solicitor here in England and Wales, and also a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. I'm invited here to discuss immigration. Femi, how many minutes is my session?
It's 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. Okay.
You have questions after that.
All right. So because I've got 30 minutes, I would be okay, let me just run through. So my areas of expertise are family law and immigration law. But for the purpose of this seminar, it's going to be immigration law. So I'll read a short disclaimer, which is that information I'll be sharing during this legal seminar does not constitute legal advice in any form, as legal advice can only be given based on individual circumstances. The purpose of this seminar is to inform, enlighten, and educate you on the current rules under the immigration law. I also want to thank God Almighty. I want to thank the executives of Gaps and Bridges for inviting me. And I also want to thank you all for joining. And I'll be grateful if you could invite others to join, as this session will be very beneficial. So I'll be going through these topics as time permits, but once my 30 minutes is up, we're going to have Q&A. Now, for the purpose of this seminar, I'll be giving free advice, which is during the Q&A. But once this seminar ends, I would not be giving free legal advice as I charge for my consultation. So I need you to bear that in mind. You can start putting your questions in the chat box, but I have compiled some questions that are quite popular, and I will try and deal with that within the 30 minutes that I am given. So the topics we'll be discussing today are: what are the recent changes in immigration, popular immigration questions, what are the alternatives to graduate post-study, and how can I bring a family member and non-family member to the UK? Then we'll talk briefly about visa extensions and renewals, but that is subject to time. So what are the popular changes? The first one is obviously you are aware the skilled workers visa, which has been increased to 38,700 from the 4th of April. And also the new minimum salary threshold does not apply to health and care visa and those in the education sector. However, there's been a recent change, which is that you could work up to 20 hours in another job or for your own business, as long as you are still doing the job you are being sponsored for. Because I've seen a couple of things flying around. So I just felt that it was important I chip this in. It was an update that came when the Home Office revised the rules. Then also the shortage occupation list has been revised, but also I note this morning that it has also been updated again. They've merged it into one again, which would lead to another popular flyer that is going around. I'll talk about that later on. Sorry, I'm not really that tech savvy. So they've merged it back into one before they divided it into three. They've merged it back into one, and I'm going to talk a bit more about that later on. Then visitors visas, that does not apply to most of us, but obviously we are aware that visitors are now permitted to work only remotely in the UK. In my own opinion, it's not a change, it's just common sense. They've put it down. If you are working remotely, you can work remotely anywhere in the world. But I think in order to justify that, they've done something, around the visitors visa. That was why they put it as one of the announcements that they've made, and also that legal professionals be able to carry out additional activities, which include advice, acting as expert witnesses, litigating, teaching, etc. Then visitors will be able to carry out paid engagements. This will pay the musicians, the actors, or those in the entertainment industry. Do you understand? So they can always engage in such activities. Before in the past, I think they needed there's a special something for them, but now they can come in on a visitor's visa and carry out paid permitted engagements without a need for a specific visa. So then flight crews will be able to come to the UK as part of the Civil Aviation Authority approved wet list arrangements between the months of March and October. Then the graduate visa, we're still expecting changes, but the Home Office advised that the Migration Advisory Committee will review this graduate visa, and further announcements will be coming out later in 2024. By the way, if anybody needs the slides, I'm happy for the organizers to share it free. Please do not sell these immigration slides, because the information here are from the Home Office website, the guidance notes and immigration laws. So please do not sell it. It does not belong to me. That's why I'm giving it out for free. So if you need it, kindly put your email in the chat box and the organizers will email a copy of the slides to you. Then the family visas has increased to 29,000 from the 11th of April. But I seek to clarify that a lot of people are like, okay, those of us that are already here and they were not earning up to 18,000, earning up to 29,000. The rule states that this only applies to those that are switching from the 11th of April. So if you're already on a family visa, that is, you're already a dependent of a British citizen or someone that has indefinite leave to remain, and your partner was not earning 29,000 before the 11th of April, as long as you were already their dependents before then, the new rules will not apply to you. But if you are just switching now, then these new rules would apply to you. That is, you need to be earning 29,000 before you can switch. Then also the care workers, there's been so many noise everywhere about restriction for care workers. Now, I seek to clarify that it is only those that are on the care workers sub-code 6135, which was changed some days ago, 2 days ago, and senior care workers that cannot bring their dependents to the UK, and also students, except if you are a PhD student. So any other visa, you can bring your partner or your dependents. Now, I want to clarify, there is this, especially yesterday and day before yesterday, because I am in a lot of WhatsApp group. There is this something that was going around that says that it's been changed. I'm sure a lot of you, can you all see this? This Home Office guidance.
Yes.
Can you all see this? Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure some of you that are in, especially in the Nigerian WhatsApp group, yesterday and day before yesterday, there's been so much noise about, oh, there's a new change in which care workers can now bring dependents and all that. It is not true. It is not true. And I will explain to you. That was why I decided to open this and discuss it today. So if you click on it, it says, and I want us to follow me carefully. It says, for the purpose of this appendix, health and care salary job means SOC 2020 occupation codes. I believe we all understand up to that point. And in these occupation codes, these are the lists of job codes that are in this SOC 2020 occupation codes, right? So, and they said, okay, they can bring their dependents. But if you scroll down to this place, can you all see it? Where it says dependents of a skilled worker. It says they must be able to bring, they can bring their dependents, but they now said specifically, if you scroll down, I'll show you. It says, but if you look at SW 291A, in SW 291A and BP, must not or be applying for entry clearance skilled workers job in SOC code, occupation code 6135. That's for care workers and home care and senior care workers. So if you read this part, it still states that they are exempted from bringing their dependents. So in as much as I know it's a bit confusing, at the beginning, they listed it that, you know, those on the health and care visa can bring their dependents. But if you scroll further down and you look at this part, you would see they have maintained that those on the care workers visa and the senior care workers visa cannot bring their dependents. So I just wanted to use this seminar to clarify that, all right, because I'll have the opportunity to explain. And obviously you are benefiting from the free legal advice from Gaps and Bridges only for this session. Once the session finishes, you will need to pay for the advice. So then there's been increase of the home office fees. Sorry, let me switch off my phone. Please, I will answer all questions during the Q&A for free, but after the Q&A, you will need to pay. I've switched off my phone. Sorry about that. So please don't call me now. So then the home office fees has increased, and the NHS surcharge has increased. I'm sure you're all aware of that. Then students cannot bring their dependents except for PhD students. We are all aware of that. Then the civil penalties for migrants to work or rent illegally in the UK has tripled. So if you go through the slides, because I'm limited to 30 minutes, I can't start going through, but I've listed the new fines stated there. Then I'll go to the next section. I compiled some popular immigration questions, which I'll quickly treat before we go ahead. So that hopefully that would minimize the questions that I'm going to answer later on. So my employer sponsors license has been revoked. What should I do? The first thing you need to do is to try and speak to your employer and try and find out whether they are appealing that decision. If they're not appealing that decision, what you need to do is just wait for the Home Office to write you a letter asking you to leave the country. Then you will know that there's no hope for that. But before you wait for the Home Office letter, you need to start looking for another job that will give you COS. All right. So once you get another job that gives you COS, as long as you can switch before the 60 days expires, that is the 60 days the Home Office has given you expires, there's no need for you to leave the country. But if you've not heard from the Home Office and you can quickly switch, you don't have a problem. But even if you hear from the Home Office, as long as you switch before the 60 days expires, you should be fine. Now, I also want to answer a popular question, which is that if you have bought your COS, I have highlighted that it is illegal to buy COS. you can demand for your money back. And if they refuse to refund, you will need to contact the solicitor for further advice. The reason why I just gave a general thing is that because it depends on the circumstance of the case. That would determine the success of us getting your money back. So if you have used a significant part during your COS, there's a high likelihood that you may not get your full money back. If you have not started or you've never used your COS, do you understand? We may not be able to help you back, but it depends on case-by-case basis. Now, some people have said, oh, because I spoke to somebody last week and the person even told me that the employer said they are waiting for their solicitors and everything. But the only reason why that person had the authority to talk to that person that way was because I feel that person was scammed. Do you understand? The amount the person has paid is not even the amount they sell for COS. And he's going to spend much more to be able to get the money back. So don't ever think we solicitors cannot help you to get your money back, but it's on a case-by-case basis. It's not everyone we can help, but that's the essence of consultation. During consultation, we'll assess your situation. Because if this company has acted as an agent, to assist you to get a job, right, and also sort your immigration out, then you should be able to get your money back. We just take them to court, we report them to police, report them to the bank, and we'll start court proceedings and we'll get your money back. But it all depends on the circumstance of the case. It all depends on the contract you have with the company that brought you in. So those are very key things we will look at before we can guarantee whether we'll get your money back for you. Now, a simple illustration is, I'll use 3 scenarios. You took a book is different from I stole a book, and is different from I borrowed the book. Now, the issue is that the book has been taken, but it's 3 different scenarios. So that also applies to, I don't know where that line came from. That also applies to, with regards to the success rate. So if you took the book, obviously you took the book because you were permitted to take the book. If you stole the book, then we will need to look at the circumstances around it. I don't want to overflog it, but I know a lot of people are in this scenario. But if you want your money back, speak to a solicitor, explore the options, then they will advise you or would advise you on the success of getting your money back. But some people have been getting their money back. We can help you with that. The second one is, I failed my course and my school refused to issue another CAS number for my student visa extension. What should I do? The first thing you need to do is to ascertain your circumstances and the time frame you are likely to get a response. And I always say to people, always eat that humble pie. And the reason why I'll say you should eat the humble pie is because in the past, I came to UK in 2005. In 2005, there was nothing like CAS number. Do you understand? So if you failed your course or you were pregnant, like I was pregnant when I was doing my master's, all I had to do was to go to my department. They gave me a letter for extension. I applied online. It was very dead easy. I applied for extension, so it wasn't a problem. When I gave birth, I also applied for further extension because I was taking care of my daughter. Do you understand? It wasn't a problem. But because the Home Office is trying to control the amount of immigrants coming in, then they developed this CAS number system. And the reason why I'm taking time, so you would know how to approach your HOD or your school. So with the introduction of the CAS numbers, the Home Office assessed the capability of each school to bring in international students based on their earnings and a lot of other things. So depending on those circumstances, the Home Office will allocate a particular number of international students they can bring in each year. So for simple calculation, let's say they assigned 100 CAS numbers to a university. Now, the way they work in UK is that it's not like Nigeria that we work by faith, they work by budget, all right? So for that 100 CAS that they have issued, right? What the school will do is that the school will make a budget based on that 100 CAS. So let's say each CAS costs £10, £1. So the school is expecting to make £100 from that 100 CAS. So out of that £100, they will say £30 is for teacher's salary, another £30 for stationaries, another £20 for support staff and rent. Then the remaining £20 will be their profit. So they've already planned for that 100 CAS. Now, if you fail your course, most schools, if they have exhausted the number of CAS numbers that the Home Office has given them, it will be very difficult for them to give you a CAS number to rewrite your course, or to ask for more time, because that means they'll be losing £1 that they've already made a budget for to you, that in their own opinion they consider as unserious, or maybe your circumstances is beyond your control. That was why you failed your course. So most schools will incur a loss to give you a CAS number to extend and rewrite your papers that you failed or your thesis. But it's a different thing if your school, out of the 100 CAS that the Home Office gave them, they were only able to get 80 international students. If you fail your course, do you understand? They may be able to give you a CAS number to extend your student visa and rewrite your course. But you would not know that. That is privileged information. So that's why I said, and I start up and I always tell people, always eat a humble pie. If you know you need time, say for instance, you failed your course, it's not the time for you to be coming to us. If you come to us, fair enough, I'll do what you want me to do. As long as you sign the disclaimer, I'm fine. Go to your HOD. Your HOD is always your best bet, or whoever is supervising your thesis. You need to explain to them that, see, I need this extension. Do you understand? You try and plead to them, to their compassionate side. If you plead to their compassionate side, he or she will be able to plead your case, and they will give you a CAS number to rewrite your course. It's not a time for you to start, like some group of people I heard, they formed what they call them, like a protest, that they should always give international students student visa extension. Don't join those kind of people. I'm sorry to use this word, they are foolish people. Don't join those kind of people. Speak to your HOD, speak to your lecturers. Those are key people. If they understand your points, and if there's extra CAS numbers, they'll be able to help you. Where in the instance that there is no extra CAS number, you need to assess your situation. Say, for instance, you need just extra 3 weeks. What you need to do is to apply for what is called further leave to remain outside of the immigration rules. Some people call it LTR, some people call it FLR, but the Home Office calls it FLR. Further leave to remain outside of the immigration rules. Now, with that, you'll be able to explain your circumstance that, okay, you failed your course, you have requested for CAS number. Unfortunately, there's no CAS number available for extension, and you need more time. I can say with the further leave to remain, it could buy you extra 3 to 4 months. Do you understand? Make sure whatever you're going to do can be accomplished within that period. If it cannot be accomplished within that period, you run a huge risk of the Home Office making a decision. The truth is that the Home Office is likely to say no. Because if not, if they say yes, that means everybody will be doing that. Do you understand? So if you need, like, say, 4 weeks or 5 weeks, then you can quickly do the further leave to remain to buy you time. Once you have passed and you are ready to apply for your postgraduate visa, or you want to move to health and care or skilled worker, you need to make the same application for cancellation. You need to do it the same day you apply for your post-study. Reason being that you cannot have more than one application before the Home Office at the time. And if you do, the Home Office has the discretion of choosing the one they like. Most times it's the first one. Okay, so that is what you need to do if you have failed your course or you need extra time. Then I'm in the UK with my dependents. I'm worried about the new rules about new dependents on the health and care visa. What will happen to my dependents? Like I said, you can switch to any visa except for the care workers with the sort code, which they just changed with this thing I showed you guys. They just changed it to 6135. It was 614 it was 61 something before. They just changed it some few days ago. So what you need to do is to look for other visas that you can switch into with your dependents. Now, which also leads me to this slide I opened. I want to talk about this health and care. So now, Some people, they are like, okay, I don't do care work. My manager really likes me. Do you understand? My work is not proper care, but it's care. Do you understand? What can I do? The way around it is that, and I'm not saying, don't quote me, I'm not saying you should intentionally mislead the Home Office. There are other job codes under the health and care visas that you can use, not necessarily the care worker one. Can you see care workers and home care workers? This one, you can't come with your dependents. Then the senior care workers, you cannot come with your dependents. But there are general codes that, if your job can fit into, like health and care services, health managers and directors, residential day domiciliary managers and proprietors, therapy professionals were not classified, other health professionals elsewhere not classified, health associate professionals elsewhere not classified. Especially this may work for some of us. And I heard, don't quote me, a lot of Asians, some of those Asians that are doing admin in NHS, if they have their people, I'm not saying, let me retract, I don't want to quote any company. Some Asians, as I was told, that's what they are doing, because clearly they can't bring their dependents with this care worker and senior care workers code. So what they've been using is the ones I've said, the health services public directors, or these general ones, therapy professionals not elsewhere classified, other registered nursing professionals, other health professionals not elsewhere classified. I think this one is very good because it's not saying, it's not giving specifics. It just says other health professionals not elsewhere classified. So health associate professionals not elsewhere classified. So these two, they are quite general. It's something that you could discuss with your employers. Check the job description, make sure what you are doing can fit into here if you have dependents. But if not, unfortunately, if this is your job code, 6135 and 6136, you cannot bring your dependents. But any other one under the health and care, you can switch with your dependents. Are we still together?
Yeah. Like a very quick question, please.
Okay.
When are you going to start handling the questions, or you are still going to handle them? I mean, the one on the chat.
On the chat.
Yes.
Once my session is done, I think my session will be finishing by 12.
Okay. So
yes, I'll just quickly go through this.
That. I can help you with that. Don't worry. I'll just.
Yes. Okay.
Question. So once.
Okay. So I heard you can. Sorry. Should I continue, Femi?
Yes, continue. That's fine.
Okay. So I heard you could apply for visa extension 14 days after my visa expired. Is this true? Now, my answer is yes and no. Please and please, I beg you in the name of God. I don't know why our people are so blessed and highly favored. I don't want to say something else. It is true there's a rule that you can still apply for visas even 14 days after your visas has expired. But the law says that it's only in exceptional circumstances. And the cited example, for example, you are hospitalized and there's nobody else that can assist you with things like that. Please and please don't always rely on these 14 days after my visa has expired. Always apply before your visa expires, because if not, you have now put yourself at the discretion of the Home Office, because within that 14 days, you are now at the discretion of the Home Office, whether they think you qualify for it or not. What other visas can I switch in with my dependents? I have said any other visas, but some people ask for specifics. Global talent is quite popular amongst our people now. Innovators Founders Visa, temporary, I've listed it up here. UK Ancestry Visa, that is if you have someone in your lineage that is a British citizen, British citizenship by descent, that is if you have somebody in your lineage as well that is a British citizen, and some temporary visas. Then I'm unable to pay the balance of my school fees and my school is threatening to report me to the Home Office and have my visa curtailed. What should I do? The first thing is that you should be humble and appeal to the compassionate sides of your school. You can always offer payment by installments. You can discuss the option of deferring your admission so you can finish paying your school fees ahead of the new year. I have worked more than 20 hours during school term. Will the Home Office find out? Yes, the Home Office will find out through your NI number. If you have worked more than 20 hours, you need to stop doing that immediately. Now, some people say, oh, but my agency said they will pay me, I should do more than 20 hours, they will pay me by cash. They're only paying the cash by convenience. They need to account for that money. All right. The only cash at hand that the Home Office will not find out is if that person handing you the cash for whatever work you do is not, it does not have your NI number. So, for example, if you are making hair, you are doing babysitting, you are cooking food and selling to fellow Nigerians or fellow people, right? You won't need to worry. Even if you make £1 million, the Home Office will not find out. But if they have your NI number, unfortunately, it's going to reflect in your NI number, even though your employers tell them you did not do more than 20 hours during school time. So, which leads to the answer to the next one. They'll find out through your NI number. My dependents are secured COS. Can I switch to become my dependent? Yes, you can. Except if you're a student, you must have completed your course or graduated, before you can switch. Then what are my rights as an overstayer? An overstayer is somebody that has stayed beyond their visa date. So you can still send your children to school till they are age 16. You can use emergency services like the police, fire, ambulance. You can get essential emergency health care like A&E. Then there's this new one, biometric residence permit is expiring soon. What should I do? Now, you don't have to worry because we were all using the biometric, the BRP, as a result of us being part of the EU. But after UK left the European Union, they want to phase out the BRP because the BRP was as a result of the EU. So what the Home Office has announced now is that they will be issuing digital e-visas. So some people already have started, receiving their emails from the Home Office asking them to log in and update their details. So you don't have to worry now. We have up till the end of this year, but once it's getting to November, you've not heard from the Home Office. My advice is that you call the Home Office and contact them. So you need to have a UKVI account because from the 1st of January 2025, it is through the e-visas you'll be able to prove to your employers and to landlords that you have permits to stay in the UK. With regards to the new salary increase for the skilled workers, will it apply to those that are here? It's only going to apply to those that apply after the new rule has come in. So for those that are already here before, your salary will not, you will not be affected by the new rules. But obviously they've said you need to make sure that your salary is being increased according to the going rate. Do you want me to stop, Femi?
Yes.
Because I finished the Q&A now, the popular questions. So I'm now going to.
Okay. So, yeah, I can help you with the questions on the chat on first first in, first out basis. And then I'll just, there are quite a number of questions. So I'll just go through the first one, just accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make it easier. So we have the first question, and it says, I'm here in the UK on visitor's visa. So does that mean I can work for the period?
No, you can only work remotely. You can work remotely, but you are not allowed to work. But you can use that as an opportunity to look for work. So once you get the job, then you need to go back to your home country and apply from there.
Okay, so you cannot work. You should look for work. You cannot work on that visa. So the
Yes,
second
only
one,
working.
Yeah, the second one says, does it mean healthcare assistants in NHS can bring dependents?
Okay, let me give you permission. It says anybody can bring in dependents. Any visa except if you are on this SOC code 6135 or 6136. Like I said before, if you are doing care work or you are doing something like support work, and this is your SOC code, your job code 2205, which is other healthcare not classified, or 3219, yes, you should be able to bring your dependent. So it's important that you are not using these two job codes. These two job codes, and students cannot bring their dependents.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for that. So the other question another question says, please, how about nurses? Are they allowed to bring dependents? Nurses?
Yes, they can bring dependents.
Okay, that's fine.
They can bring dependents. Yes, it says they can bring dependents, the one that is circulating around. Now, let me just quickly say something. If you don't understand anything, you can always go on the guidance notes. Always read the guidance notes along with what you see on the Home Office website. That offers exceptions. Like I said before, this particular thing that have been circulating in the last few days on different WhatsApp group, this is a guidance note. But if you scroll down to the dependents, you can see that they've emphasized again that anybody on the health and care visa can bring their dependents, except for those on the care workers visa, do you understand, and the senior care workers, which they have emphasized here.
Okay. It says, for instance, if your wife came through education, but she's a nurse, and the partner is already in the UK, can she get a job awards and add the partner? So if your wife came through education, she came,
Yes,
but she's a nurse, and the
yes,
partner is already in the UK, her partner is already in the UK,
yes.
can she get a job awards and add the partner?
She can add as long as it's not care workers subcode or the senior care workers job code or students. So you can, yes, she can. Whether she's a nurse or obviously she's not known to the system as a nurse, she's known as a teacher from what you've said.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question, do you handle self-sponsorship? So I'm taking this question based on first in, first out basis. Do you
Yes,
handle self-sponsorship?
yes and no. Yes, in the sense that obviously I'm a solicitor, but I subcontracted to one of my learned friends that deals with my complex business immigration. And the reason why I don't want to do that self-sponsorship is because it is very, very complex. And if any mistake is made, you will have to wait for another 6 months before you can reapply. So self-sponsorship, if you need help, yes, I have somebody that does it for me, but I personally don't do self-sponsorship. It's quite complex.
So yeah, so please, you can always get in touch with her. I think she will leave her details. I'll also leave the slides. I'm going to put it on the chat. I will send it to the emails. So you can always get in touch with her. So another question, is there any way I and my British Nigerian fiancé can get married while I'm here on a visiting visa? So
There is no way you can get married on a visiting visa. The only way you can get married on a visiting visa is for your British fiancé to go to Nigeria or your home country and get married to you there, then come back.
okay.
You can't get married there on a visiting visa, no. But you can get married on a fiancé visa, but it's not the visiting visa.
Okay. I am on a PSW visa. I'm planning to return to school for another MSc. Will my children be allowed to remain? So that's 16. He has 2 kids, 16 years and 18 years, as my dependent on a new CAS.
No, the rules is quite clear. If you are switching to as a student from the 1st of January this year, you cannot bring your dependent.
Please, does the salary range affect care workers that want to change to skilled workers visa from student visa?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Please, I need solution. My BRP is going to expire May 12. That's just about a month. And I don't have COS.
Well, you will need to speak to someone that is a recruitment officer, someone that deals with HR to help you look for a job that will get you COS. I don't do such. I deliberately chose not to get myself involved in that. I just concentrate on the legal parts.
But do you do referral? Can you meet you for referral?
No, I don't do referrals because people, it's been backfiring. I don't do referrals and I intentionally don't want to have anything to do with it.
Okay. Please, if your partner obtains COS after 11th March and you have children, how do you handle it? And finally, if your partner is COS after 11th March and you and your children are on student visa, if your partner later obtained the ILR, can you and the children join her?
That question I cannot answer generally because we need to look at some other things and ask more questions. All right. We need to know what kind of job that he has. Do you understand? How long they've been in the country. We need to look at all of that. So I can't answer that on a general basis. Unfortunately, that person will need paid consultation.
Okay. Is it possible to get IHS refund if you switch employer from a skilled job to another?
Well, we only get IHS refund if you applied for a health and care visa and you paid by accident or, then, or whatever reason they ask you to pay, because it's only, I think, those on the health and care that do not pay NHS surcharge. So, but you can always contact them. They've got their contact number and email. You can try your luck.
Okay. If one husband is already on the COS and changing employer, does the new salary of the 38,000 apply to him on the switch?
It all depends. Is he still doing the same job? Is it within the same job code? They've specified there that you need to be on the same job code. So that is also something that I cannot answer generally. We need to look at it on a one-to-one basis.
Okay. My result was a postgraduate diploma. I was unable to apply for post-study. So I was able, so please, my question is if my husband gets COS and I also get COS, hope our kids will be able to stay with us in the UK.
Yes, they can. It all depends on the COS. If it is COS for care workers or senior care workers, your children will not be able to be your dependents. But if it is any other profession, yes, your children can be your dependents.
I think I missed the other question. So it says my result was postgraduate diploma. I was unable to apply for post-study. So what does that happen? What does that person do?
So if the person if the person graduates with a postgraduate diploma, obviously the person will not be eligible for post-study. So what the person needs to do is to consider one of the work visas or family visas if they are not married. If the person requests for my slides, I've listed the work visas that they can apply for. So once they get a job, they need to switch to a work visa.
Okay, we're going to send those slides via email. So yeah, just make sure you have your email with that. Can someone working as a domestic assistant in the NHS request for IHS refund? Domestic assistant.
If it is under the health and care, yes, you can.
Okay, my company offered me a COS, which I applied for visa, but the Home Office declined my visa application due to English language evidence. I had applied for me and my wife, who had just graduated with a master's degree, to be my dependent. Is she still entitled to apply for postgraduate visa, even if my application was denied, of which she was a dependent?
That question is not straightforward. I will need to ask further questions because ideally, if you have a master's degree, they shouldn't refuse that application for English language. So we need to look at the refusal critically and advise them better. So I cannot answer that generally. They will have to pay for consultation or they speak to somebody or citizens advice. By the way, citizens advice do give free legal advice anyway. So for those that are not willing to pay for consultation.
Okay. Yeah, we could always go back after this. So yeah, a friend's CAS has been revoked because he was unable to meet up with payments, can he switch to care as a company has offered COS?
No, students are not allowed to switch unless they complete their course or they graduate.
Okay. If your passport has expired, but the process for renewal is ongoing and your visa is expiring soon, does it still affect the visa renewal?
No, it doesn't. So what you need to do is that when you're uploading your additional documents, you need to show evidence that you have already applied for your passport to be renewed. And maybe if you have a date from the Nigerian house, you would attach that as well.
I'm already here with my husband and kids. Does it mean I will get sponsorship? My partner gets what about my kids?
Well, it all depends on the visa your partner is on. Do you understand? So, and if your partner meets the requirements of that visa.
Okay. Sorry, are there businesses one can run that will allow one get visa as a business owner?
Yes, the person should go on the Innovators Founders Visa. They've listed the approved businesses you could do. So you'll be able to apply. That's the business visa.
Okay. Sorry, I missed the trail of the question because it just came up. Okay. Let me go to this. What is the latest period? Can I apply for an indefinite leave to remain in the UK? I have sponsorship for 5 years, which expires in November 27. What kind of visa do I need to apply for my 6-year-old daughter whose visa expires about the same time, but she's been here for two and a half years?
Whatever applies to you applies to your child. It's as simple as that. Now, in UK, every visa is either 3 years route, which is only for global talent, 5-year route, which is standard application, or 10-year route, which is 10 years long residence. So those are the three number of years that you could spend before you get your indefinite leave to remain. And like I said, that's why global talent is really trending, because it's just 3 years. Some are 5 years. There are some global talents that are 5 years. So with regards to your child, whatever applies to you would apply to your child, except of course, if your child wants to meet the immigration rules on their own. So if a child has lived here for 7 to 10 years and is under age 18, then the child will qualify to be a British citizen. Or if the child is over 18 but under age 25 and have spent half of their life in the UK, then the child will be put on a 10-year route.
Okay.
I think we may just be about rounding up some of those questions before we tire our.
I was just thinking about that. So
We're
I think
very kind solicitor before we tire out.
yes.
But I'd just like to say that there will be ample opportunities for this kind of seminar. I mean, Olaide is a friend of the house, and usually she kind of obliges, and also she's a friend of the community. As much as you can see her privately, she's going to leave her contact details and all that. Would also bring her from time to time because she also is that's part of her social responsibility, which she comes to seminars, open seminars like this, even in churches, in religious bodies, and she talks about all this immigration. And of course, even from these seminars, as you have done from this one, you can always get like valid information that helps you. I'm sure all of you would have gone away with some valid information. Please connect with her again. But then we'll be having these seminars over time. Gaps and Bridges is a place where you are supposed to be empowered and to connect with resources that will be useful for you. This is so please connect with all our social media handles, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, so that, and also through email, we'll be reaching out to you for those that have dropped the email with the slides and with other information, so that we can always connect with you and you can always connect with us. I'll leave the remaining to Femi. This is a place also where businesses will thrive. We're going to have business forum, business platform, where you can even bring your own business, even to showcase, to the world. And would also hopefully have the opportunity to bring some employers here to come and talk about their jobs and the opportunities in such employment and in such companies. So I'll leave every other thing just to say we appreciate your time. Good to have you here. This is a platform where things would happen. We have been there. A lot of us have passed through. And so we kind of have that information. And that's why we've named it the Proven Pathway. We are going to be bringing things that have been proven, that has worked, that has, that is valid, that is tested, that is researched on this platform. So I'd hand over to Femi, and while we round up, and give our vote of thanks to all, especially to our solicitor, Lady. Very, very thank you for honoring our invitation and being here.
Thank you.
And also for loving the community. I think it's important for contributing to everyone's circumstance. Thank you so much. I hand over to I will try and round up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Lady. I would really, top solicitor. She's been so many platforms, just like Bumi said, our partnership lead. Yeah. So please, if your questions were not handled, don't feel bad about that. You can always get in touch with Lydia, and she's
At what point will Lydia drop her contacts? I've not seen her drop the contacts yet.
Okay.
Contact details, please drop on the chat box, and would also continue to share on our platforms.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Or they should just simply type Olaide Awogbile into Google.
Yeah.
If they type it into Google, it will lead them to these are my details. That's my mobile number and my details. And I've got a WhatsApp channel. So if you want to attend more seminars, or you want immigration updates and family law updates, I put it on the WhatsApp channel. So those are my details.
So please, guys, you can get the details now, please. You can snip it, you can, just take a shot. Those of you who dropped your email, we'll still send that to you as well. It's on the chat. You can always get in contact with her. She's helped so many people, to settle into the UK and sort their immigration issues. So thank you for that. I will be taking it from there. I want to share my screen now.
Okay, so let me stop the share.
Okay. So I believe you guys can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just talking about the gaps and bridges. What we're about. I'm going to make it very brief. I know we have things to do. I'm just going to make it very brief. So, but before that, I want you to remember that we have a survey that we would like everyone to be part of. We have a survey. So please, you can fill the survey now, or you can fill it in the WhatsApp. Especially if you have a computer, it's going to be easy for you. You just click on it. There are questions. You don't have to write anything. It's just one answer. You just click, and submit. It's a very nice survey. It's going to help us understand where we are, and about you as well, and where we are headed. So please ensure you try and fill the survey. If you can't do it now, make sure you do it on the WhatsApp. So this is gaps and bridges. Basically, we have our slogan, which is create, connect, empower. We want to empower people. We want you to connect with us. We want to spark up your innovation. So gaps and bridges is all about connection and innovation. So if you look, we have our website, which is gapsandbridges.org. There is another gapsandbridges.com. If you go to .com, you'll be going into IT and robotics and all that, but you want to come to our website, it's .org, gapsandbridges.org. We're also on Facebook. Instagram and on YouTube. I'm just going to make this very, very brief. Let me get to the next slide. So these are our vision very quickly. It's a platform for connecting businesses and communities for transformational impact. So we want to connect business. We want to connect, we're going to be doing a lot of things about businesses, helping your business, funding and other projects on this platform. So our goal is to cultivate and bolster ourselves comprehensively while also seeking avenues to drive transformation across Africa. So first thing first, we want to get ourselves sorted, and then we can be of help, to Africa as well. So it's not just here in the UK. We want to extend. We want to help. So for you to extend help, really, you need to be settled here first, and that's why we're doing all we are doing. But we also seek to extend our tentacles to Africa as well. So we are launching our WhatsApp group, and this WhatsApp group it's for Africa. It's called Africa Diaspora Network UK. Africa Diaspora Network UK. There are many people all from Africa who are in the UK from the diaspora. It's going to be a group for connecting them. So it's connecting diasporans in the UK on an interactive platform, and to give diasporans a central voice to influence and enhance transformational development in Africa. So it's not just here in Africa. We are saying we are here in the UK. We want to get ourselves sorted. We want to take opportunities. Also, we want to remember where we are from, and then see how we can help, see how we can influence. Because I'm telling you, when you have a voice, you can influence. I mean, when you are together in unity, you can have influence. So another thing we'll be doing is to advertise and support diasporas grow their businesses. There are people who have businesses, who have ideas, who want to launch ideas, who have business. It's a platform. There are many ideas that are being funded, and there are people who have the ideas, but you can use this as a platform to run and to get funding and to get these things, sorted, and also to foster cohesion and glean from the African multi-heritage. We want to glean from the multi-heritage of Africans, from the different, backgrounds and all that, and integrate, just like Bumi took us on. So yeah, that's basically what Gaps and Bridges is all about, and WhatsApp group. So if you check, there's going to be a link or a QR code that can link you to our WhatsApp group, where we will be giving you more information. You'll be getting more informed of all that we'll be doing. And there are going to be many other projects that are taking place. And we're going to be bringing many people in top places in the UK, which would help you, in your businesses. So I'll just stop sharing at the moment. I think at this point, finally, when you are adding others on the WhatsApp group, please do not add African numbers. Avoid scammers. And scamming is another project we're going to be talking about later in the project, scamming, and we will go deep into it. So please do not add people outside the UK. It's a UK group, and it should remain a UK group. So yeah, I think that's the end. I just want
There has been a question. Some says that there's a notification that the WhatsApp group does not exist. Please, if we are having issues with the WhatsApp group, we would, if you've dropped your email, we will make contact with everyone that has dropped their email. So drop your email if the link is having an issue now, and we will send it to you. We will contact you. We'll definitely contact everyone that has dropped their email with the slides and with further information and with link to the WhatsApp group. Hopefully, we'll check what's happening with the group. At the moment, we don't know. But drop your email, except your email is not here. But if your email is here, we'll definitely make contact with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone who has made out time. The UK is a busy place. For taking out time to be part of this event. Again, remember, you can always contact Lydie if you're having immigration issues. Make sure you connect with us on our WhatsApp, Facebook, we're going to be putting all those on our platforms anyway, so you can easily link and get connected to the WhatsApp. I will just hand over to Bumi to give the thanking remarks, and then yeah, on my part, I want to say thank you and have a nice day.
Well, yeah, this is me again. I don't know if you guys can see me. Yeah, this is me again. And just to say thank you so very much for being on this platform. We would all go places together. We intend to work with each and every one of you to be able to harness your potentials, to empower, to connect. Even as our motto has said, we want to create opportunities here. We want to empower, and we also want to connect with businesses, with, with the way forward, with ideas, with resources, with opportunities. We're going to be running things like boot camps, CV writing camps, looking for jobs, bringing in employers. So continue to connect with us. Thank you so very much for your time, and see you all again soon, maybe in another couple of weeks, maybe in another 2 weeks for another juicy session. Thank you, and God bless. And sorry, thank you to our team too. We just want to appreciate those in our team. We want to appreciate Toby. We want to appreciate Ose, those that have made this happen, working behind the clock. They are part of this team. Thank you to both of us. Thank you for a great team. Yeah. Okay then. Bye, everyone. If we can see your faces, it would be nice. If we can see some of the beautiful faces and handsome faces, it would be
Bye-bye.
nice. If not, bye.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye for now. Bye. Yeah, let's see your faces. Great, great. See beautiful people. Oh, look at beautiful people. Good to see your faces. Bye, everyone. Yeah, see you. Catch up again. Catch up on the link. Catch up on the WhatsApp group. Catch up on our Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, beautiful people. See you again.
People.
Beautiful and handsome people. That's what I like to say, beautiful. So the men see handsome people and beautiful people, so the men won't get annoyed. Okay, then. See you all soon. Catch up again soon. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. Yeah.